Hello everyone and welcome to our Game Week 14 / Game Week 15 preview show. I'm Chris and with me is of course the other half of the FPL Cougars team, Kieran.
Good evening, alright?
Yeah, good. Nice to see you wearing your festive jumper.
Yep.
We haven't planned this, guys, but we're both wearing red as you can see, so we're nice and festively in tune tonight. So we've got big show tonight because there's a lot to go through. There's 9 game weeks in 30 days coming up, so there's going to be a lot to cover. Huge potential to jump up or fall down the ranks quickly, so we hope our discussions, well, tonight and this coming week and the ones that follow will give you some insight and food for thought coming to your team. So tonight, the main topics, quite a lot come out from this weekend. We're going to talk about Aguero quite heavily, the concerns over his fitness, as it looks like he's probably going to miss Watford and then potentially be back for Chelsea. And with Aguero sort of absence as well, brings the focus onto Kane and Aubameyang. So we're going to look at replacements and what we're going to do there. We're going to talk about Salah's early subbing, what that sort of means in correlation to Sterling and Sane's form. So yeah, lots to discuss tonight. As per, Kieran, should we start off by looking at your game week?
Yeah, rather not, but so yeah, it was below average, just the score, and then way below the top 10k average. And yeah, another deep dark red shade of arrow, unfortunately. First captain blank of the season with vice captain going on to Salah. I figured he'd do something, but he was pretty poor. I should have stuck with my idea to captain Hazard in the first place. Didn't do it. But yeah, this is welcome to FPL meltdown rather than Cougars. And this is my therapy session today, I think.
Good. Get a lot off your chest because you were bigging up Hazard, weren't you, on the Friday?
Yeah,
talking about captaincy.
Bottled it big time.
I think Aguero was the smart choice. It just so happened that he was rested and a lot of vice captains came into play.
Yeah, we were led to believe that Jesus was still injured, weren't we? That and that Aguero was fit and ready to go. And so yeah, Aguero just seemed to make sense, and I guess I just got the vice in the wrong place.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about your Wolves double up? Because that was another bone of contention for you going into game week 14.
Yeah, obviously, yeah, the 2-1 result, not great. 64 minutes. I was on 22 points from 2 players on Friday Night Football. I was thinking, bloody hell, this is fantastic. I finally got something working. Finally, a double up going well. I think Wolves have been solid. Obviously, they have been solid before, and since I've had them in, they've barely done anything at all. I thought they'd maybe come back to form in this. Their defenses seem to be better away than home, so all the stars seem to align. But yeah, Doherty scored in the first 5 minutes ish or something.
It was quite early. Yeah.
All right, let's go. This is good. And then 64 minutes. Yeah, I was on about 22 points. Vinagre was in the bonus. Doherty had all 3 bonus. I was thinking this is awesome, but yeah, it all came crashing down pretty quickly. Where I ended up with 8 points from 2 in the end, which is, you say that isn't too bad, really. But yeah, it could have been so much more.
Yeah, it could have been. Because similar to you, I had Doherty for the Friday Night Football only, and last week you transferred out Wan-Bissaka, hadn't you?
Yeah, I bought in Vinagre for the Huddersfield game as well. So
yeah, that's right. So in 2 very unlikely games, one very unlikely game, Wan-Bissaka picking up the clean sheet, and then just to rub salt on the wound with a clean sheet at home to Burnley.
Yeah, I think Vinagre got 2 in the first one, maybe 1 again.
Yeah,
I remember. So he's at 12 for Wan-Bissaka. And I was thinking of just bringing Wan-Bissaka back in for this game. I thought, I have a free transfer. Why don't I just do it? But I don't know, stupidly just didn't do it. It's silly.
So based on the back of this week, I mean, you've been planning it for a while, hadn't you? You've been talking about it on the show. You've now played your wild card.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about your team more a bit later, aren't we? But this, we'll move swiftly on from the 45 points. I'll just briefly pick up on my game week. Much the same as you really with Aguero. Actually my transfer this week was to take out Hazard, and bring in Sterling. It's a bit unlikely, really, especially when a player's got a good fixture. But his form has been, been so poor recently. No goals, and I think it was like the last 9 games or something like that he's played in. And Sterling's just been relentless, hasn't he, man? So I had to make that move against Bournemouth. I thought they'd score a couple of goals at least, and yeah, happened to be 3, and Sterling got on the score sheet, and I thought he looked really lively. Considering I thought he played a lot wider, especially in the second half, than he has done in previous game weeks. So that was quite interesting. But yeah, the Crystal Palace double up was the key to my 58-point score, I think, because to have a double up in Palace defence, I think it was quite rare. I haven't seen many teams with it.
Yeah.
And after those really bad weeks where I held Hennessy through 2 and 1 pointers, he's now got 16 points in the last 2 game weeks. So he's been a huge help. And they go again to Brighton, don't they, on this week? So I'd expect some save points, if not a clean sheet out of that one.
Game.
Yeah, it's going to be. I think it's the sort of game that Palace like. It'll be tight, not few chances, and I could see it being another low-scoring one. So yeah, pleased with that. 58 saw me jump from 72 to 66. So it wasn't much of a jump. And just to remind you, what was yours?
My final rank?
Yeah,
around 42-ish.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a big 20-day drop, and yeah, I mean, overall, I think 40k is still pretty good. But just from where I was close to like 6k of 10k, and 3 really bad red arrows in a row is horrible. So I'm hoping this wildcard can turn it around.
It's still tight at the top though. I mean, looking at the scores, I think I'm 11 points behind you, which is roughly equated to about 22,000 places. And I had another look, and I think about 15 points in front of you is about top 20k. So it's still 25 points in it. There's 2 game weeks back to really quick now. 2 good captaincy picks and some transfers. You easily make up that ground. Obviously, on the flip side, 2 bad ones, and you're going to drop right down. But okay, so we're going to get into it and just talk about the fixtures very briefly. But tonight we're going to have more of a focus on the preview, aren't we? So we're going to talk about, because there's so much to talk about this week. We're going to do more on the preview, less on the fixtures. But let's start with Friday night football. So Cardiff Wolves. What's your thoughts on Doherty moving forward? Because this is the last 6 games, 11 goals conceded, 1 point for Wolves. It was great that Doherty got the goal in this one. Yeah. But are you thinking maybe they've had enough time? They've got tricky fixtures coming as well.
He's currently in my draft just because, that price, he offers really good value going forward, doesn't he? There isn't many other people around that value that do the same thing that he does.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, I got him at 4.7, I think, and it's 4.9. It's good. I think they're going to start keeping clean sheets. So I think if I just have one, just Doherty around that price, cheap, I think he's decent to keep, honestly. I almost think that they can keep a clean sheet against Wolves. Against Chelsea this weekend. Or this week, sorry. Might not happen, but I got a sneaky gut feeling on that one.
Okay, so you're going to keep him?
I think so. Depends. At the moment, he's staying.
See, interestingly for me, despite him scoring the goal, I'd actually planned to get rid of him this week, because although he's quite cheap, I think there's better options who aren't too much more than him, namely Trent.
Trent, yeah.
Yeah, who's got the added bonus of as goals and clean sheets, and I think really it's a similar situation to Dean, unless they're getting those goals and assists week in week out, and like Wolves haven't been not keeping clean sheets. It's just like a 4.8 million nice to have. He might score sometime. I want some clean sheets in there, especially when I'm playing 4-4-2, because really that's what I'm relying on.
I just think that the clean sheets have got to start coming back soon enough. Like Huddersfield started getting a few, like Cardiff have had a few, West Ham started getting a few. Like they will pick it back up. And I think
I mean I think the Chelsea. I don't think I think they will concede in the Chelsea game.
Yeah. They will, but.
And I would have thought they concede at home against Bournemouth as well, but in 2 game weeks times. It's the Newcastle game. I think they might keep a clean sheet, and then Fulham potentially, but Fulham that's away at Fulham, and then they got Liverpool at home. So in the next 5, I see there's potentially 1 game they might get a clean sheet in, which is why I'm thinking of swapping him out.
Yeah, you're making me think to get rid of him now.
Yeah, so so another player who Nuno did get. Well, I was going to say Nuno did get rid of was Bennett, because he's quite heavily owned as one of the cheaper options. Sass came in. Is it Sass or Sais?
I think.
Yeah, 4.2. So I think if people are on Bennett, it'd be really keep a keen eye on these next couple of games to see if he's going to worm his way back into the team. But that could be a bit of a worry, couldn't it? Because you don't want his price to drop before you get rid of him.
Yeah.
Because he is real, basement price, so keep an eye on that. Jimmy, what do you think there?
He was quite poor, wasn't he? Consistent FPL returns, like he got an assist, but just general eye test, he's very poor. Honestly, he was. He looks like a worse version of Lukaku. If that's like, he couldn't hold the ball up very well at all. Like, his touch was awful, and he just they had nothing to play off up the top. Like, they tried to play it off Traore a lot, and he was giving it away a lot, and he was goddamn awful too.
He was poor.
I think if you've got him, I'd say keep him. But like, I think he was lucky to get that assist, and he looked. Yeah, he didn't pass the eye test, and I'm not going to be bringing him in on the wild card.
He had 3 shots, and he obviously got the assist for the goal. And he's up to 6 million now, but he did look a bit.
He did look poor.
A bit isolated, especially with Traore around him, man. They had some good chances to break. Traore just wasn't picking out. You can see why he's not been starting. Like, he doesn't pick out the right ball. He doesn't get his head up enough. So I mean, if you got Jimenez at 5, what was he, 5'5", 5'6", 5'7", he was for a while. I mean, he shot up I think twice in 1 week. But yeah, if you got him around that price, think hold. But
be better in the big games as well, though, to be fair.
Yeah, that's true.
Chelsea, who knows? At home as well.
But he's up to 3 goals and 6 assists for the season. So for a player that came in at that price, that's not a bad return. So I think hold on. Gunnarsson was one you were talking to me about earlier in the week because he was appearing in a few of your wildcard drafts. What did you like about him?
It's just that he's 4.4 and he's nailed on. He's after back to fitness, he's their captain. He's he's nailed on and going to play 90 minutes every week. Just him getting that goal is obviously a bonus for anyone that managed to get him or played him at all, or maybe got him off their bench. He takes those big long throw-ins as well, doesn't he? So he always has that possible assist from a header from Morrison or something, from a long throw-in. I like him as a fodder, fourth midfielder or fifth midfielder.
Yeah, I think he's a good player to slot in there. I think it's similar to me a bit earlier in the season with Højbjerg. Yeah. You know he's going to play 90 minutes. He's got a little bit of goal threat about him. And for Cardiff, who are now picking up a bit of form, I think was that 2 wins in 3 now? Yeah. I think it was, and they've got some decent fixtures on the horizon as well. Cardiff, Southampton, Watford and Palace in the next 5. They've got that easy home game against Man United in game week 18. So it should be a decent run of games for them. And I think I questioned it when I saw your team because I didn't realise how cheap he was. But 4.4 fifth midfielder, I don't think you can go wrong there.
I mean, I wouldn't consider him if he wasn't 4.4.
No.
I think obviously Camarasa he's actually gone up now to 4.6, but
that extra 0.2 for a player who's generally going to be on a bench is just there's no point.
Not really, but Camarasa does have corners and things like that. But
how often is he going to come on? But I know what you mean.
Yeah.
A good way of testing that is for anyone out there as well, look back on your team for this whole season and work out how many times your third or second bench player has come in. I mean, it's likely they'll come in more over Christmas, so make sure you're a good one. But I doubt in general game weeks where there's not 3 matches in a week, they're coming on very often.
True.
Any more you want to pick up on that one?
No, let's quickly move on. Let's keep it.
Cool. Let's keep it moving. We'll keep it moving. Okay, Palace against Burnley. Start off by saying just how poor Burnley are defensively now. Well, and offensively actually. I mean, Sean Dyche has done a good job to stop the media talking about him getting sacked because they've been really, really poor. So he had 29 shots against them against Palace. I mean, think of Palace have been really sort of shot and goal shy this season. So you can see 29 shots in one game, and they've got Liverpool, Tottenham, Arsenal, and Everton in the next 4. So I'm thinking if you've got players from any of those teams captain, I mean, we'll get big on our captaincy discussion a bit later, but when I see those shots conceded, despite Salah getting taken off early, I'm thinking Captain Salah over Sterling this week. But yeah, really, really poor. I was pleased to see that Hennessy, obviously, and Wan-Bissaka picked up the clean sheet. And I was just Burnley are in big trouble, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I was shocked to hear 29 shots as well. But yeah, like you said, Salah next week. He is the standout captain. But yeah, I worry for Burnley as well. They have just been poor. But Palace-wise, Zaha, 6 shots, 3 on target, 1 big one created. he looked fantastic. He passed the eye test compared to who did I mention earlier? Jimmy.
Yep.
Yeah, he looked great, and he's actually only missed 2 games the whole season, which I was, I looked at the fixtures and he's played 90 minutes in every other one, and I was just like, oh, really? Like, that's hilarious, but he missed more than that. But yeah, at 6.7, he's dropped 3 times.
Okay.
He could be a viable option, I think, especially with a few of their fixtures coming up. They seem like good ones. So yeah, I don't know. I like him. I don't know if I want to take that gamble, but he could be a way to get big rank boosts if he scores.
Yeah, he's an interesting player. I look at it and feel like because it was Burnley, he looked a bit better than he was. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's good. That's true.
So I'd be a bit cautious about that man. He did, like you say, he looked really active. 11 touches in the penalty area, 6 shots, but he didn't get any returns, did he? He didn't get a sniff of it. So
Brighton away, next one.
Yeah.
West Ham away.
I don't know. They're like you said, their fixtures have definitely turned now. They were poor, and I think he could have got. I mean, during their games where they had difficult opponents, he didn't do too badly. I remember he could have had an assist for a penalty up at Everton, but I think unless he becomes a more reliable goal scorer and assister for 6-7, what do you say? It was 6-7. Yeah, I don't think I'd dip back in there because I had him in my team, didn't I, at the start of the season, and I was really bigging him up, and he just wasn't convincing me as this out-and-out goal scorer. Whereas I moved on someone like Wilson, and Wilson's playing out of his skin this season, isn't he?
True.
So until Zaha can show me he's more of a consistent goal scorer, I'd want him to score in a game like that for 6-7.
Yeah, and obviously Wan-Bissaka is back, 2 back-to-back.
Yeah.
Saka,
really pleased.
PVA, proving Hennessy, proving they're good for a clean sheet, aren't they?
Yeah.
I just wish I never sold him, and probably a lot of people didn't sell him and they just had him the whole time. But yeah, he's definitely back on the wild card. No brainer, really.
I think I'm looking at it thinking I'm going to double up on them more often. That now during these good games, like you say, the 4 games they've got in the next 5, the Brighton, West Ham, Leicester, Cardiff games. I think easily see 1 or 2 clean sheets there. So yeah, thinking about doubling up on those 2.
Yeah.
Cool. Huddersfield, Brighton.
Yeah.
Or was there anything
Meunier, unlucky red card, I think, slightly. What do you think?
It was, I don't know. I'm not sure for me. I mean, it definitely affected the game big time because Huddersfield were playing really well. They were playing quite well, I thought. And obviously that totally turned the game, and Brighton were able to claw their way back into it.
Yes, then Moy as well. Obviously, he had 2 goals. Was it last week? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's obviously not consistent now. Brian King again. Who got that goal a few weeks ago. Not found any other form or any other returns. And their strikers still haven't scored in 14 weeks. Meunier, Depotre still haven't scored. It's hard to see where goals come from that team. I think Schindler is an option I'm looking at. He's really powerful from corners and crosses, and he can get his head on it. And he often, if they keep a clean sheet or 1-0, often in the bonus. And he's 4.3 and rotates really well. So yeah, I'm looking at him on the World Cup possibly, and their fixtures are pretty good. So yeah, I like him.
You started last season with quite a few Huddersfield players, didn't you? And they did well for you in defence.
For a while, and he got a good few clean sheets at the start. And I had Moy in a few games, and he got a good few goals. And I jumped off him when he lost his form, I guess. He's done this time.
I think the fixtures you want to keep your eye on there are they've got the 17 and 18 home to Newcastle and Southampton back to back. So and those are the sort of games Huddersfield are going to need to grind out some results in. So
absolutely, yeah. And I think Schindler can keep clean sheets in those for sure.
I wanted to pick up really briefly on what you said about Moy. I saw a stat last week that said he'd scored 3 of his 4 goals when he's been playing like in a game which has been televised.
Okay.
So the next time there's a televised Huddersfield game, Aaron Moy, triple captain, I think, is the way to go because he loves a big game. I was just going to say in terms of on the Brighton side of things, the trend of their centre back scoring continued this week, didn't it? So Duffy this time with the goal and 2 bonus. Obviously, Dunk's picked up a couple in recent games, so there's still great value there on the Brighton defenders. Are they ones you've considered at all on your wild card?
Yeah, I thought about it. I would really like Duffy because Duffy did me work last year. He kept a lot of clean sheets. But he's gone up to 4.7, and their fixtures are really poor coming up. They've got 2 or maybe 3 decent ones in the near future, but after that, it's just it's reds and greys, and it's not looking good for them. So I think I'll probably stay away.
Okay. Yeah, it's nice to know they're there. It seems like they're offering a little bit of promise at the back there and a nice alternate option, and it's good to see them getting some goals. Another concern, probably for quite a few managers, is Murray. Well, he's owned by 6.3% in the game, so that's now he hasn't started 3 of the last 5 away games. And
I think he's just old.
I think he's just old. Yeah.
He'll play midweek, I reckon.
You reckon at home? I think he's probably resting for most of the away games and playing on the home one. So I wouldn't be surprised if Murray got a goal and a couple of bonus points. Seems to be sort of on a little bit of a trend at home, doesn't he? I was going to say I hope he doesn't, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was Glenn Murray, the old timer.
Yeah.
Against Roy Hodgson and the boys. Yeah, was it Andon who played instead of him? Is that how you pronounce his name?
Yeah, Andone maybe.
Andone, got the goal. He doesn't really look like an option. I was having a look at his heat map to see how he'd been playing, and he was just he was all over the show. He was barely in the penalty area, so I think it's Murray or no one if you were going to have a Brighton option. And at the moment with his minutes all being so managed, I wouldn't go there.
Not Knockout being benched again. I think if anyone still has him, definitely need to get rid. He's clearly a rotation risk.
What happened there? He looked so good, didn't he?
I don't know. It's just he was benched out of nowhere after he was really good. Just not got back. I don't know. Gross has obviously started the last 2 since he's come back from 3. I think he played the 90. I didn't really look into that. Sorry. But he hasn't returned any FPL points yet. But I think he probably will start to get in that area soon.
And I picked him up, didn't I, a couple of weeks ago? Said he could be one to watch, and
he could still be.
He could still be. Yeah, that's exactly the way to look at it. Put it on the positive.
In big games, he did well in big games last year.
He did do well in big games last year. Okay, is there anything else you want to say about Huddersfield or Brighton?
No.
No. Okay. We're going to talk about Leicester and Watford. I'll start off just by talking about success because he signed his contract on Friday. I think it was announced that he's now signed a long-term deal, and usually you think, when a player signs a new contract, there's going to be a bit of a bounce. They'll score a goal and they'll celebrate. So I was quite tempted to put him first sub over Fraser because I thought he'd play against Leicester.
Yeah.
And he did. And surprisingly, I think he played the 90.
Yeah,
and he kept Deeney and Gray on the bench. And he missed a big chance, which I think was from roughly within the 6-yard box or something like that. So big chance. So could have swung totally the other way. In the end, he just picked up a yellow. And thankfully, I decided against putting him first sub and ended up putting Fraser. So,
1 point gained.
Yeah, 1 point gained. Yeah, exactly. It's good news for me that he's continuing to get minutes, and it looks like he's sort of dislodging Wilson and Deeney and Gray. So he could be a handy one to have over the Christmas period if, like I say, players get rotated. I know he's starting at the moment, and
I think they've done better recently when him and Derby have been up there together, haven't they?
Yeah.
I don't see why Gracia wouldn't continue that, to be honest.
Yeah, they got some tricky games coming up in the next 5, so I mean, he's going to be firmly rooted on my bench man, but yeah, if need be, he's going to be there to be called upon, so yeah, we'll see what that brings.
Yep.
Do you want to talk about Maddison's troll?
It's just typical, isn't it? Like, getting rid of him for Richarlison, and Richarlison has done absolutely nothing in the past 2 weeks. Maddison gets his red card. I'm like, all right, great. He's, I justified getting rid of him. Gets lucky. Maddison owners get lucky by having him serve the ban in EFL Cup, and then he comes in and gets a lucky goal. Like, obviously, it was a good finish, but the lead up, I think he was quite lucky to get that sort of bounce, like maybe 2 or 3 times past the defenders. And great finish, but lucky to get there in the first place. And frustrating, just total FPL troll. Maddison will now be known as.
I'm a bit irritated because at the start of the season, I thought he looked really good, and I got lulled into getting him. And I think similar to what Martial did, but on a much lesser scale, he had a couple of really good game weeks back to back where he was picking up returns which just didn't look consistent. Like he scored a couple of long ranges, a couple of free kicks. He took a free kick. He took a penalty when Vardy wasn't on the pitch.
Yeah.
And I think that the numbers were there that he was getting returns, but they weren't really sustainable. And I got him in, but although he scored in this game, he had 2 shots on target. He didn't really look like he was that dangerous. So despite him scoring this week, I don't think you can beat yourself up too much, because I think moving forward he's not going to feature highly in the midfielder rankings. So yeah, I think be happy with your current team.
It's just being lulled in from him to Richarlison to another troll who's just blanked for 3 game weeks, then gets a brace, and by 3 game weeks I'll probably get rid of him. You know what I mean? Like, and then he'll brace the weekend, they get rid of him, and just like Madison gets a goal hit.
Yeah,
bonus, and just typical.
That's why you've got to be patient with the players at that price, though, man, because you're not paying a huge price for them. So you shouldn't be expecting them to, if they don't score in 4 game weeks. I think sometimes you've got to expect that. Like, if I wouldn't mind too. I mean, I know Fraser's slightly cheaper than Madison, isn't he, by about $1 million? But Fraser now not scored in back-to-back games against Arsenal and City. Fair enough, they're hard. I wouldn't mind if he didn't score against, or didn't get any involvement against Huddersfield, and the game after against was it Brighton they play next? Oh, Liverpool. So yeah, it's just the way it goes. Sometimes you got to ride these things out, and they'll come back around. But in Madison's case, I don't think he had the stats or the form there to show it was going to come back around.
True.
Do you want to mention anything on the Leicester side of things? I'm thinking defence.
They're still keeping clean sheets, aren't they?
They are still keeping clean sheets at the moment. Yeah, that was 3 and 4 for them now, and most notably Pereira, who we bigged up quite a few times on this show, but none of us have ever got. He got 3 bonus points despite no goal involvement, which I thought was quite amazing. 2 were win. He's 5 million, and he's is he 5-1? Is he?
I think he may have gone up last night.
Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense because I checked last night. Okay, so he's back to playing right back after some time. He was playing right wing, wasn't he, in the 4-2-3-1? So yeah, he seems pretty locked in for a place at the moment. And to be getting 3 points in a game which finishes 2-0, I thought that was quite impressive. So yeah, him and Chilwell are providing some good value returns in the last 3 game weeks.
Yeah, their fixtures are just so mixed, aren't they?
They are.
Fulham away, I feel like Mitrovic might be getting goals in that. Maybe not a lot, but I think they might get a goal.
Well, they need to score, don't they? So
yeah,
giving hell for leather.
I don't think that's a clear clean sheet. And then Tottenham, Crystal Palace, Chelsea, City. It's not, I think, the right time to get them in. To get them in was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, the time to have them is gone. I was just going to say that anyone who has had Chilwell, over the last 6 game weeks, he's averaged 5 points per game. So fantastic. I think it sounds good, doesn't it? And when I saw that and worked that out, I looked back to when you and I both got Doherty after he got his 15-pointer, because I believe that was 6 game weeks ago. And we both got him in just based on the back of that goal. And I would have much preferred to have had 30 points over that time than the 12. Anyway, it's just the way it goes, isn't it? Chilwell consistent, and we were bigging him up and we just didn't go for it.
Maybe that's why we just need to look past goals sometimes.
I know, that's the thing. That's why, I mean, we'll get onto it later, but it's funny, Aubameyang, I'm still not sure on him. And I don't know why. He's the top goal scorer in the league.
Yeah, I know.
What am I thinking? I don't know. Okay, we'll talk more about that in a bit. Stay tuned, because Kira, we'll get aggrieved, won't we? Oh, we get to talk about Man City next, unless you want to talk about anything else.
Nope, we won't.
Oh, cool. All right. Let's start off with the big one, shall we? Aguero. Yeah. So I just thought I'd read out what we know from Pep, okay? So Pep, after the game, said, Gabriel Jesus helped us today. Today we needed runs behind, and he made 1,000 million in many circumstances. Gabriel was so important, and he will be so important for next Tuesday. Okay, so since that, which was on Saturday, we've heard that Aguero trained yesterday, didn't we? Jamie Jackson of The Guardian, who's obviously been a massive troll before, said he trained yesterday. And then today, in Pep's press conference, he said that he doesn't know if Aguero is going to be fit tomorrow, so it's very vague. So how do you read into all that?
Just don't believe anything he says and read into it whatever the hell you want. I think there's no way to read into it because we were led to believe Jesus was injured last week and that Aguero was fine. So now he's probably hinting towards that maybe Aguero is fine and Jesus won't play. I mean, he's said before he likes to not say anything, keep it completely vague, and just so that the opposition is guessing. So yeah, I don't think there's any way to think into that, to be honest.
So despite that, then you set to get rid of Aguero then? Even despite that?
Yeah, just because I think his minutes are going to be lacking. There's obviously other teams with better fixtures for the forward position. Obviously, I'm still going to keep cover from their attacking for Sterling because Sterling's doing so well. He's doing so well. I think when Mahrez comes in, he'll probably do really well. So yeah, I will still have cover for them, but there's just no space for Aguero and his just intermittent form and minutes.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I totally get that. My take on it is I think he will probably miss out most of the Watford game. I think he'll be on the bench, but I think he'll probably come on for about 20 minutes, and then he will likely start against City.
Chelsea.
Sorry, yeah, he will likely start against Chelsea.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
The thing is, I would still... So, with that in mind, Harry Kane has got 2 decent fixtures. Aubameyang has got 1. It's funny because a lot of people have been really excited or looking to get Aguero out for Kane, but I still don't think either of those two offer better value in a team that scores as many goals as City. So my plan is now, I think, to get rid of Aguero. I've got a free transfer. Get rid of Aguero for this game week. Keep him out of the team when they play Chelsea. I've got Sterling and Laporte for my City cover. And then City have got back-to-back home games when we know Aguero goes ballistic, don't we? Averaging like 5+ shots a game. Yep. And they've got Everton and Crystal Palace back-to-back home fixtures before they go away to Leicester. So if Aguero leaves my team, he's only going to be leaving for 2 games, and then he's coming straight back in. So that's how.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, at the moment, I'm thinking I'm going to get Kane because I fancy the Southampton and Leicester away games more than I do United and Huddersfield for Aubameyang. I don't really see Lacazette as an option instead of Aubameyang at the moment.
Why not though?
Just because Aubameyang's scoring more goals. That's pretty much all it is.
I think 3-5-2 is their shape now. They'll play together up top. I think Kola and Bellerin bombing down the wings.
They did play well.
Wideness to keep Abba from having to go out there. And Ramsey just behind if he's smart, because he chips in with assists all the time. He's great. Or Ozil or Wavy or whatever, Mickey. And then the 3 at the back. Torreira and obviously Xhaka just behind them. I think they should both play, and I think they both will play, and I think they'll probably share points. But I think Abba is the main man at the moment, just because Lack has been injured. And what can you do? He's come up trumps in that time.
So you would go after all that? You would go Aubameyang over Lacazette?
Yes, but I still think they're both good options.
The thing is, we both watched the game, didn't we, together on Sunday? And I think they were both on the pitch for the second half, weren't they? And I thought from their performance in the second half against the top team in Spurs, I thought Aubameyang looked more threatening. Better get involved more in the in play. Obviously set up Torreira for the goal and scored a fantastic goal himself. So anyway, despite that, it's only going to be a 2-week thing. But right now, I'm minded to get Kane. Which is a shame because I didn't really want to take Aguero out, but if he's going to miss, he's probably play 60 minutes against Chelsea as well. Let's say if he plays 80 minutes out of 180 or so.
I think it makes total sense. So you bring in Kane, captain him, still got Sterling.
Don't think I'd captain Kane.
Really?
Yeah, no. I think I'd captain Salah still.
Oh, okay, sure, but
he's just there.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Okay. Sterling. So, we'll talk more about your Aguero replacement ideas, I think, when we preview a wildcard a bit later. I was just going to talk about Sterling because obviously I got him in this week. I was very happy. So he's up to 11.5 now. He's the highest scoring player in the game, and we've been bigging him up, haven't we, for quite a while? I'd say since about game week 7 or 8 or something like that, because he was sneaking up then. And it's taken me this long to get him, and I regret it because, yes, 8 goals, 7 assists for the season. He's still owned by 17% last night. That's probably gone up a little bit more even today.
I think it's nearly 19 now.
Yeah, he's at a 0.3 price increase just since game week 12, so this is his time at the moment. I had a look into his numbers to see if he was a potential captaincy option for this game week. So away from home, this season he's averaged 6.6 points, and at home he's averaged 10. So those are crazy numbers, aren't they? Mm-hmm. You could easily stick the captaincy on either of those numbers and say that if he keeps that up, I'd be more than happy with 6.6 average away from home and 10 at home. So I can see this. Yeah, it's a big decision this week for obviously a lot of people, myself included, you as well now that you own him, or likely going to be owning him, who to captain this week. And I think it sort of harks back a little bit to last season, that it took a while for people to realise that Salah was a safe captaincy pick. I still feel like there's a little bit of trepidation with Sterling, because every time someone mentions Sterling, it's like, oh, but he might be rested. He might be, he might need a rest.
Yeah.
But I think you've got Man City play their best players, and Sterling now I reckon he's their most important player, because he scores goals and gets assists and helps them win games. Like Aguero was out at the weekend, and they were at 1-1. They needed a player to step up, and Sterling was there to score the goal. So
you think he definitely plays?
I think he definitely plays. Yeah, definitely plays tomorrow. Definitely plays. So yeah. That's my take on Sterling.
I think I would say Sane plays as well. I think Sane was praised a lot by Pep.
Yeah.
I think Sterling obviously was as well. Both incredible in that game, and I think they're both on fire at the moment. So why would you rest them? They have sort of had rest over international break. Sterling only played 1 game in that.
Yeah.
So yes, I mean Sane is pretty much essential when Mendy's out as well. So yeah, I think they should both play.
Yeah, I think they probably both should. Yeah, I'm more convinced Sterling will play, which is strange, than Sane, but they're both looking so threatening. I had a look at the number of touches they were getting in the box. So Sterling had 14 touches in the box against Bournemouth, Sane 11, and yeah, just in those two coming in from wide areas and making such a difference. I think it's definitely a good idea to double up.
It's hard for him to keep Silva and Mahrez on the bench, though, isn't it? Like, that's 2 really good players.
And Gundogan
will probably go bench.
It's going to be even more difficult when De Bruyne gets back as well.
Yeah.
Because they're going to have the 2 Silvers, Gundogan, De Bruyne, Sane and Sterling, just to fit into what, 4 positions?
Tough.
So yeah, there's points there. You can't deny it. Man City have scored the most goals this season. They look like they're going to score 2 or 3 goals every time they play. So I think if you've got a player from their midfield, they're more than likely to get in on the action.
Agree.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to mention about Sane or Sterling? Do you want to give them any more hype? Or?
I think so. Just wanted to mention the annoyingness of losing the double clean sheet again. Lee Wilson has scored it, who I haven't owned all season, so highly owned. It's just they had barely any other chances, and it just had to be Wilson. Screwed my double clean sheet again. Ugh,
he could have had a goal before that as well, couldn't he? Stuck his little leg out. See that one?
Yeah, it wasn't really a clean cut chance, was it?
No, it wasn't.
But yeah, it's just super frustrating. I was just if I ever go double defenders again, or only 1 double, not 2, it's just silly. Really silly. Never mind.
Yeah, it's difficult to predict with double ones, but it's just like you say, it's double everything, so it's doubly frustrating. Okay, so I think that's all right. All we need to say on Man City for now, because we'll probably talk about them in more detail again in the preview at the end of the show. Okay, Newcastle, West Ham. You had Arnie, and during the game you were like, Arnie's going to blank. You had no faith, did you, at half time? You're getting frustrated.
I think that assist was not lucky, but he could have had a few assists, but just Chica missed a few. Arnie Anderson, I think, missed a few.
Mm-hmm.
He missed a few chances himself. But he had a pretty poor game altogether. Like, he didn't really pass the eye test for me. I think it just wasn't going for him.
No.
So which is why I'm sort of leaning towards getting rid of him. I know it's like, it seems weird, but he is really inconsistent with his injuries. And I don't know. I think it's so strange to get rid of him as well. But Anderson is proving to be so consistent at the moment, where he's starting to shoot more. He nearly had a few like edge assists for Chica and Arnie, and yeah, if he can keep it up, I think he's a great option. But yeah, Arnie frustrated me big time.
It is such a difficult decision for you, especially being on wildcard, because West Ham have got that great run of fixtures, haven't they?
I know.
And if you're not fully convinced by him, then I don't think you should have him. So I looked at the stats comparing the two, because I, like you, was very impressed with Anderson. In terms of touches, Anderson's much more involved with the play, so he had 52 compared to Arnie's 33. And it looks like Arnie's now playing a little bit deeper, especially when Chica's in the team. So
continue Chica playing.
I don't know. He's played. I think he's played the last 4 or so. Yeah, he scored 3 goals in 6 now, so it looks like he could be more of an option.
Yeah.
But I don't think he'll ever play instead of Arnie.
No.
But it looks like he'll play with him in some games, and especially now they've got these more favourable fixtures. I wouldn't be surprised if they played 2 up top more often, and he drops it because I don't know. Chica's the sort of player that hang on the edge of the defender and be right in the 6-yard box.
Yeah.
Whereas as well as Arnie being on the edge of the defender, he's quite quick and he's running behind. I see him as more of a link player than Chica.
Yeah, which is why I'm like, it's so tempting to double on them, because I think not having Arnie is so risky. Like, because it's so punishing when he gets a brace or whatever.
Yeah.
But he's so consistent and like, yeah, the double up is there's a lot of money double upping up on
a West Ham team. Yeah. How many goals this is going to put you on the spot now. Maybe you can check while I'm chatting, but how many goals have West Ham scored this season? And for 14 million investment in their strike force, you want them to win at least 2-0 every game now, and hope Arnie and Anderson get a goal or assist every game.
Oh, I'm trying to look.
I don't know. I think it'd be risky to go with 2, man.
It would.
So yeah, while you're looking at that, I just talk more about Anderson, who had 2 big chances created in that game, which he set up one on a plate, didn't he, for Chica, who didn't finish it.
Yeah.
2 shots on target, and that's his 3rd double-digit score of the season. So it shows he could be an alternate captaincy option in some of those easier games coming up.
Okay, West Ham has 17 goals.
17 goals. Okay. So I know it's very difficult to compare, but I think City have now got 46?
43.
Oh, was it 43? Okay. All right. So there's something to consider there.
So yeah, no double up, but it's just
about half.
Picking between them is super hard. But I think Anderson is more involved, and he's starting to show that he is consistent. He can get goals and get assists. I think he's nailed on. He'll play all the minutes. Like him.
How many goals do you say then? Sorry, 19?
17.
17, and we've had game week 14, so they're averaging just over 1.1 or 2 goals per game.
Yeah, but you expect that to go up, but they're decent fixtures coming. So.
Yeah, true. And they did win by 3-0 against Newcastle, which was a bit of a surprise, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, especially away.
Newcastle got 3 wins on the bounce ahead of that one. And I checked out their team. They are not a FPL force at all. Their most owned player is Lacazette on 3.3% owned. Okay. So yeah, they are not anyone to worry about. If Newcastle win 3 or 5-0, there's about 50 people who are celebrating this. So,
yeah, but it is against Spurs and not this.
We noticed that some people have still got Kennedy in their team, didn't we? We saw a few lineups this weekend. So I think if you've got Kennedy and you're in the middle of Newcastle's fixtures, which were quite good for quite a while, and they still are quite decent, I'd be looking at him, because there's players around him at that price that are emerging.
Yeah, that one goal duping people again.
Yeah, Brooks, namely.
Terrible United.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's continue.
Should we talk about Southampton and United?
Yep.
2-2. Is there anything you want to rage about straight away? Obviously, both of us being casual armchair United fans.
The banter that United are so bad that if you only draw against us, your manager gets sacked. But Hughes has been on the chopping block for ages, hasn't he? He's been terrible. So, but yeah, United to concede 2 against Southampton is just so bad. And with makeshift defence, only Jones fit in centre back, and he's only played 1 game, which is the game before all season. And McTominay and Matic in the back 3. I mean, oh Jesus, like
that's poor, isn't
it? And yeah, Arsenal 4-2 against Spurs, coming away to United next week. Asking for trouble, isn't it?
Yeah, it's gonna be a really tough game for United.
I'd probably try and rush Smalling back in, but I don't know how injured Smalling is.
I haven't heard anything about Smalling being injured.
I didn't even know he was injured.
No. Honestly don't know what's going on with Jose at the moment. Like, they played two midfielders in a back 3, Matic and McTominay, the either side of Jones. It was crazy. Really, really crazy. Pogba had an awful game. I think Martial has got to be infuriating a lot of people because he was so heavily transferred in ahead of Palace and Southampton. These back-to-back good-looking games for United, and obviously blanked in the first one. Fair enough, it happens. 3 points. And then for this one to be on the bench, man, and not even come on.
What is Jose doing? Like,
it's crazy.
Sanchez out injured. You're thinking, all right, Martial's nailed on for the next 6 weeks or whatever.
Yeah.
And he goes and does that. It's what the heck? Like, granted, Rashford, I guess Rashford came in for him. He had a good-ish game. But still, like Martial, he's been in form. He's been the one that's been getting you goals. Lukaku coming back in as well. Like, what's he doing?
It was a poor performance from United all round. In terms of an FPL point of view, I noticed last night that Martial, 114,000 people have transferred him out in between these 2 game weeks.
He rose the night before that as well, I think.
Yeah, and now he's going to drop tonight.
And then he's going to drop again, yeah.
Incredible. And it looks like from the transfers in, so 114k have transferred him out. Looking at the top players in this week, it looks like Felipe Anderson is likely the most picked. I mean, that doesn't take into account the people that are doing 4-point hits and whatnot. But Felipe Anderson at his similar sort of price, 160,000 players in. So,
yeah, lucky they're getting a good replacement.
Yeah, I think that looks like where a lot of people are moving on that one.
Let's talk about Armstrong.
Yeah, do you want to? Because I do.
3 goals in 2 games.
Yeah.
Probably with the new manager, you'd think he'd be involved. Because of his form.
Definitely.
I mentioned him at the start of the season, like in our first few drafts. I had a few.
Yep.
I thought he'd do well in the Prem, but I think he was injured for quite a while and then just out of favour. Now he's just showing his class, isn't he, a little bit? Great finish for his first goal.
Was good, yeah.
Good finishes in the other 2 games. In the other game where he got 2. 5.1 million. Great. He's dropped 4 times since the start of the season. Saints' new manager bounced like Fulham did with Mitrovic, and maybe.
I can't wait to see who Saints bring in, man, to be their manager, because if it's it'll have all the bearing on whether Armstrong's going to be a good pick, and at 5-1 he could really enable a few people to make some different moves in their team. He and sort of Brooks at that sort of price point, it could be really good. Southampton got Cardiff, Huddersfield, and West Ham in their next 5. So if the new manager comes in, they've got that bounce. Yeah, Armstrong could be huge differential, and he's actually someone I'm looking at because I think Southampton, we know they've been creating chances this season. If a new manager can just invigorate them and give them that belief a little bit, let's see. I hope there's a manager in place by the time they go to Cardiff, which is this coming weekend, isn't it? This Saturday or Sunday? I think it must be. Yeah.
Hopefully, Ings can be back being fit. Like Armstrong with a decent finisher like Ings.
Yeah.
Not like Austin Gabbiadini, screw all them. Armstrong with Ings and like Redmond starting to get in a little bit of form. With decent players around him.
Yep.
Yeah, I could see him having a bit of a run, honestly. Kind of in Fraser-esque fashion.
Yeah. No, he's definitely one to watch from his differential. I'm really really thinking about. Looks bright when he plays. It's funny that I should be talking about a player from a team who have been as poor as Southampton, but he's been a bit of a shining light in their last 2 games, and he's looked exciting, and it doesn't look like it's quality more
Let's
than
see how it
luck.
looks on the eye against Tottenham.
Yeah, definitely. I'll be watching that one closely if I get Kane. So I think it'll be obviously a very difficult game for Southampton now. But even if he has a decent looking game, he's going to be good.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Should we move on to the Sunday games?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. Chelsea, Fulham. The big question mark above everyone's head, including mine, Alonso Zappacosta. So we got subbed, 77th minute. So he'd locked in the clean sheet. Do you think it was just a day off for Alonso? Or are you a bit worried about his minutes heading into Christmas?
Well, there's rumours come out today that from reputable sources on Twitter that he's going to be rested for the next game or benched. So take what you will from that, but I mean, Sarri doesn't seem to like to rotate, does he?
No.
So I think that might just be, just rumour, and you don't really have to listen to it like Robertson rumours have been in the past.
Yep.
So yeah, I think keep him. I think he'll be fine. Maybe just a slight rest. He was having a poor game. He wanted to freshen it up for the last 20 minutes. I think that makes sense. It'd be super, super harsh for him to be benched after one poor game, after how well he's been doing. He's a top FPL defender by far, by 20 odd points. Like, no, not 20, about 15 odd points. And yeah, he's just good value. He averages those points per game value on average is 6. So it's great.
Yeah. I'm like you, I'm not worried about him. I think Sarri's taken him off for a bit of a rest. He will have got it. I think I'd be surprised if he didn't play against Wolves. Really surprised. Like you say, he's been one of their main attacking forces down the left. Again, another game we watched, and how far he was up the field sometimes. He was sort of like hanging out on the edge of the penalty box, wasn't he, in open play? So
I think he's covered for Hazard as well, because Hazard seems to be on the way out most teams.
Yeah.
I think he's covered. He's enough because he can get goals and assists, can't he? So I think he's enough.
And he gets the clean sheets, doesn't he? And usually he gets bonus. So he matched Hazard again this week, didn't he, with 6?
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's one to keep. So yeah, I agree. Despite him being taken off, there's not quite a red flag yet.
Mm-hmm.
Hazard. So I got rid of him. You kept hold. 2 shots off target, 2 blocked. He had the assist for Ruben. He actually lost.
Really good goal.
Yeah, it was a really good goal. He lost 350k owners heading into the game week. Do you think it's just the lack of goals?
What did you say then?
Do you think it's just the lack of goals which people shipped him on?
Yeah, just the inconsistency of his injuries as well, and possibly being out and ankle issues and not training and stuff like that. So it's just kind of like with Aguero, like being rested, minutes not being sure, injuries, not enough goals.
Yeah.
It makes sense to move on when Sterling / Sane and all those people are just banging them in.
Yeah. Is he definitely gone for you on your wildcard now?
Yeah, I mean, I kept him for this Fulham game for, like, I couldn't possibly get him Sterling in for Hazard anyway because I had 3 City. But I kept him for this Fulham game just to hope he would, change my mind, really.
Yeah.
And yes, he got that assist and good move, but the rest of the game he didn't do much. So that's not enough for 11-0.
No. Fulham defence, I just want to touch on before we move on. So that's 35 goals conceded now for the season, which is pretty atrocious. I thought they were going to concede more against Chelsea. So and especially after conceding so early, I thought the floodgates were going to open. And after transferring Hazard out, I was a little bit worried, but yeah, they did well to limit it to 2, and they looked a little bit threatening, didn't they, second half?
Yeah, Chambers had a good few shots. Don't think Mitrovic really had any chances.
No, he didn't. No.
I mentioned Sessegnon in a few of my drafts. I thought he might do well on the new manager, Ranieri, but he got subbed at half time, which I think
he did. Yeah.
And a worry for him. And then I imagine Ranieri, in the second half put on Kamara, went back to the 4-4-2 that he's used to do. I imagine Kamara's going to get minutes over Christmas, so I think he's not going to be a dud from now on. Hopefully not. He should get just at least coming off the bench in games, I think.
They have got some good fixtures coming up. Leicester, West Ham and Wolves at home in the next 5. That's really tasty.
Yeah, not too bad, eh?
Yeah, I think this is the time now over Christmas they've got to pick up some points. So Ranieri's had a couple of weeks now, isn't he, with the guys, and
just stay away from the defence still.
Yeah, so do I. They don't look switched on, especially in midfield. They look really poor against Chelsea, especially in the first half. But anyway, remains to be seen. It'd be nice if Mitrovic gave us something to consider over Christmas as a striker option, or even Schürrle. But yeah, it remains to be seen.
Yeah. I was
going to
him for the wild card, but he just didn't do anything. So.
Okay, should we talk about the big one on Sunday?
Yeah.
Game of the weekend.
Yeah. Great.
Arsenal Spurs. What do you want to talk about on that one first?
Well, obviously Spurs started really well. You thought Spurs were going to win this game quite easily, didn't you?
Yeah, 2-1 I said.
And yeah, I thought it would be a 2-2, and it was 2-2 for a while, and then Arsenal just took over. Just Aubameyang, great finishes, good penalty. Looks the real deal at the moment. Torreira, I've been thinking about him as a sort of like cheeky differential because he seems to be getting like assists. He seems to be getting in the right positions, having shots and stuff. I'm not saying I'm going to do it because it's so inconsistent, but he is. He's on my watch list, honestly. What do you think?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure on Torreira. Yeah. How much is he?
I haven't checked, honestly.
I think he'll get more. He'll get more yellow cards than goals and assists between now and the end of the season.
Yeah.
So for that reason, I wouldn't consider it. To be fair though, he took his goal really well. He's in the Arsenal team to be a bit of a destroyer, isn't he? In midfield, break the play up, get in there quickly, lay the ball off to more creative players who are going to find that killer pass. Although at the moment, but yeah, he looked. He took his goal really well. But I couldn't have him in my FPL team to rely on for goals and assists.
No, you're right.
So yeah, forget.
Kane as well had no shots the whole game. As far as he may have had one in the end, but yeah, his only shot on target was from the penalty.
Yeah, he had that free kick as well, didn't he?
Oh,
he hit straight at Leno.
I mean, set pieces. He's poor usually with free kicks.
It's funny. The fixtures are there off the paper on him, but even though I'm planning on getting him in, I'm still not that convinced he's going to do much. I just think he'll do better than Aguero.
Yeah,
which is crazy. I don't know. The striker position is so difficult at 11 million.
He's only 2 points, like 2 goals behind Aubameyang now.
Yeah, a lot of them in penalties. How many penalties are they going to get?
Well, exactly. And is he really worth like that 3 million more?
No way. That's why I'm definitely getting rid of him. He just seems he's too much money for what he offers you. Yeah, definitely not.
It's just those fixtures you just know, like. Is this time last year that he got those 2 back-to-back hat-tricks against Saints and Burnley, and those are the like fixtures he has coming up, and it's just maybe it's too good to be true, and you're probably thinking too much into it, but you know that loads of people are going to get him for Aguero over the next few weeks, and if you don't and he gets hat-tricks, you're just you're going to feel so bad. And I think if I don't get him now on a wild card, I'm not going to be able to get him if he starts to hit form. It's probably easier to get him now and just downgrade than it is to not. Yeah. Right?
It's funny.
I don't know. It's not having him, the balance of the squad is so much better.
Well, to be like I was saying, I wouldn't be taking out Aguero this week unless he was potentially going to miss most of these next 2 games. My transfer was going to be Doherty out and upgrade to Trippier. And Trippier I'd happily have as my Spurs coverage for all these games. And when Trippier and Kane were playing the same minutes, Trippier had outscored him for half the price. So and Trippier played every Premier League game, and I thought there must have been some rotation there. And Trippier played every Premier League game up until he got injured at Palace. He didn't play the first game of the season.
Or all those injured for some of it. That's probably
but even still, I think Trippier is the best player we saw, or the best player of the 2. A lot of Spurs fans don't seem to agree. So my transfer would have been this week, Doherty to Trippier. But now that Aguero's out, I see more points to be gained in getting Kane in. But it's such a tricky one. I'm not sticking with him. 100% not sticking with him after these 2 games. I think he's too much money for what he's offering at the moment. I'd much rather make that transfer back to Aguero or Aubameyang and get Trippier in for my Spurs coverage.
So if he gets a hat trick, against Leicester or something,
I still won't keep him. No, I just don't think the value's there. I think I could have a better squad. Honestly, I get rid of him. Who did I get rid of? Oh, Hazard. I got rid of Hazard ahead of Fulham, Kieran. I'm ruthless this season.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make some more transfers like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What about Aubameyang?
It's funny, like we mentioned earlier. I'm just not. He scored all these goals, and he looks good, but I'm just not convinced on him yet. Which is probably me just being mad. Maybe I should be.
All right. Let me read a few stats. This is from Adam Hopcroft on Twitter.
Oh yeah, we like him.
Yeah, we do like him. So
Hi, Adam.
Aubameyang, the full FPL stats he's put here: played 27 games, goals 20, 7, FPL points 178, points per match 6.6, bonus points 28, minutes per FPL return 77. The next 4 matches: Man United away with no defenders at the moment, just Jones. Huddersfield at home, Southampton away, Burnley at home.
Yeah, it is good.
Sounds fantastic, really. And then, all right, here's a few others from FPL Football Advice on Twitter.
Okay.
FPL points between Kane, 73 for Kane, 91 for Ava. Minutes, 101,251 for Kane, and then 1,030 for Ava. Goals, 8 for Kane, 10 for Ava. So he's got 2 more goals in under 200 less minutes. Assists 2 for Kane, 3 for Ava. So he's got another assist on him. Shots per 90, Kane 3.43, and then Ava 2.67. But you expect if they do the 3-5-2, Ava's more central, he's going to get more. That's going to go up.
Probably would have thought so. Yeah, agree.
Full passes, Kane 0.86 compared to 1.21 for Ava. So, all of those seem to be
point towards Aubameyang, don't they?
Aubameyang over Kane, and 3 million elsewhere for the rest of the squad.
I think the price is the huge thing there as well as the stats.
Yeah.
In terms of order of players I'd like in my team, it would be Aguero, Aubameyang, Kane. But funnily enough, because I don't want to make a transfer next week as well, just to have Kane for a week against Southampton. I don't think Aubameyang's going to score big against United, and I think Kane could against Southampton. But moving on past that, I think Aubameyang could score great in those really good Arsenal fixtures. But by then, I'm going to have Aguero back in my team for those home games. So for me personally, Aubameyang's great to have, but just not yet. Not yet.
It's so tough with me being on the wildcard now because I need to get him in now. Oh man, tough. There's no right decisions, I think.
No, there isn't.
Unfortunately,
you had Aubameyang at the start of the season.
Yeah.
If you would have just set and forget him, you would have been laughing. So maybe that's what you got to do now.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Maybe is the United game clouding your judgment? Do you think I don't want to get him this week because he's got United?
Yeah, slightly. The other shroud of doubt is that he might be rotated, but I don't. I feel like Emery's not stupid. Oh, clearly not stupid.
In what regard? He's not stupid.
Well, that he's not going to put him back on the wing, and he's not going to.
Oh, I see.
And you can clearly see that he's ready to be scoring goals, and is scoring goals when he's in the middle.
He's only played in the middle in the last 2 games, though, hasn't he? Against Bournemouth, against Spurs.
Okay. That's where he's got loads of returns, and
so he's got 3 goals in 2 games in that position, and he's managed to get 7 when he's played wide. Okay, I think Is it?
With Kohler and Bellerin as well at the moment, and the 3 of them at the back looking fairly solid. I think Kohler's worked his way into the team. Kolasinac.
Yeah.
And I think 3-5-2 is picking itself.
Is Kohler someone you're thinking about the wild card with those fixtures?
Certainly looking at it, but they've only kept 1 clean sheet, haven't they? But when they do keep clean sheets with those fixtures, huge.
He's got the attacking threat, isn't he? He's basically hanging out on the edge of the penalty box, just trying to have a scrap with anyone that looks at him.
Yeah, I think I have his stats down. Where did I put it?
Why does he want to have a scrap with everyone? That would worry me. He'd get yellows. Does he not need Ben Davies just like put his arm up yesterday and they touched arms. He was like, "What the hell, man? He had a full-on fight."
Yeah,
He just loves work. He's just like full of juice, isn't he? That guy. He just loves a fight, but he also loves getting forward, which is why he's a good
4.9
FPL pick. 4.9.
4.9, 0.5% owned. And
It's just Monreal, isn't it? Which might come back in there.
I don't think Monreal will. I think Monreal will take Holding's place and he'll just slot in there back. But to be honest, at 4.9, he has places he could be downgraded to.
Yeah.
So
it's true. It's true.
Or he could be upgraded for 0.1 or something for Pereira. Chill.
Yeah. Yeah, there's places to go from Cola there.
Yeah. What do you think of him? Do you like him?
I didn't think he was an option because I was thinking about Monreal coming back. So if I was on my wild card, I wouldn't get him until I knew that he was a definite starter. Because like Monreal could come back. He's due back, isn't he? Like this or the next week.
It's about 2 weeks out.
Yeah, if he comes back and you only have Cola for like 2 games, it just seems like such an unnecessary transfer.
Yeah, maybe
you have to make. But anyway, but who knows? He could be numero uno now under Emery for that left wing spot, so he could be perfect.
Yep, and
really tough.
So if I don't get Kane, then Eriksen, Ali. I mean, are they enough cover? I don't think. I'm not convinced by Eriksen yet.
He had a good game though, didn't he? So that's 3. Is that 3 assists and a goal in his last 3 games?
Yeah, but is he nailed on? There's so many players in that midfield.
That includes Champions League, by the way. There is a lot of players in that midfield, but he's so important to Spurs. I look at the Arsenal game as it's just a bit of a blip for Spurs. Their form before that was so good. They battered Chelsea, didn't they, the week before?
Yeah.
And they've been playing. I think they'd won 5 games in a row, maybe more. So and Spurs' fixtures are so good now. I think their form's just going to pick up. I think a lot of people have been put off just by that one game. Whereas most of the teams they'll play now until game week 27, which is their good run, I think they will win and pick up a ton of points.
So is Eriksen enough to? I mean, cover's a silly word because cover. But
he's quite a lot, isn't he? Still, which is really irritating. He's 9.2, which is way high.
Yeah, but see, I don't like Ali. I've never liked having Ali in my squad, and 8.9 is almost too much.
Yeah, I think too much is too much for Ali.
8.3 is too much for be a definite rotation risk.
And Sane's 9.3, which sort of puts Eriksen's price in perspective a little bit, doesn't he?
Oh, sorry, Mane. Sorry,
no, Sane.
Sane's 9.3. Yeah.
I don't know. Son looked good yesterday, but he's only scored 1 goal this season, hasn't he?
Yeah, I guess likely he's rotated for the next game. Lamela and Mora come in.
And I don't want to fall into the Mora trap like I did earlier this season. I think it's Kane is the main choice in attack.
Yeah.
And Trippier is the main choice in defence. But unless Trippier, if Trippier is back this week, I might take a 4 point to get him in ahead of Doherty. Maybe. I don't like taking a 4 point because I think a lot of people are going to be doing it this week, man.
Do you mean Tuesday to Wednesday?
Sorry, Wednesday.
So, but we're not going to find out if he's fit or not, though. That's the problem.
I guess the press conference will be tomorrow in the day for Spurs.
He's not going to say, though, is he?
He might do. He said it was final phase on Friday, which made me think, ooh, final phase.
If he says during the day, I mean, the deadline's around 6:45?
Yeah, to be honest, I probably won't take a hit because I've been quite reluctant to this season. And I'm more than happy to play Doherty, Wan-Bissaka, especially if I go the other one. But anyway, it's something to consider.
I'd be happy to get Trippier if he was fit, but and not have Kane. But yeah, I need to wait to see.
Wait and see. Should we talk about Liverpool and Everton and then just wrap up with our big bad preview?
Yeah, because we've made it too long, haven't we?
Oh, yeah, we just get talking. Okay.
We've kind of gone over wildcard bits.
We have.
Yeah.
But then we still got to do the big reveal on the wildcard.
Yeah, it's true.
Big reveal. Salah. So that's despite him not scoring yesterday and coming off early, he's still only blanked against 1 team outside the top 6 this season. So it just shows he's struggling against those big teams, but against the bottom teams, they're just like the whipping boys for him. And he set up 2 big chances, didn't he, for Mane and Shaq in the first half, and they both fluffed them. So I think he could have had a bigger score. Despite that, I think the worrying stat which I saw was he only had 2 penalty area touches, and Mane had 10 by comparison. He only had 1 shot, Mane had 4, and that shot's from outside the box. So I'm not sure how well this central striker position is suiting him.
Nah, I think it's strange, isn't it?
Yeah, I wonder if it's just because Firmino was form dipped a little bit, and he's moved him around. But
For me, it looked awful.
I know. But prior to that, I wonder if it's because he's been playing so awful. I don't know. What's your take on Salah at the moment?
Oh, I'm looking at getting rid of him in the wildcards because he isn't proving value. 13 million, definitely not. But it's so hard to get rid of him because he is consistent-ish. But yeah, he's just too much for everything I want to do, and to hopefully try and get back up the ranks. I'll probably be going without him with regret, I think. I hope he doesn't come back and bite me. He hasn't really for against Mane owners. I don't think I'm going to have Mane either. I don't think I'm going to have any Liverpool attack. With Burnley next week or this week. It was horrible to say, but
yeah,
I think that's the way it's heading.
I think the difficult thing. This is the first game I've thought, wow, Salah doesn't look like a £13 million player, because he's playing out of position in a position. Central striker is not a position I've seen Salah play before, and now he's played it in back-to-back games against Watford, and obviously now Everton. He just didn't look good, and it really worried me. I thought it made Mane look better because Salah was turning, getting the ball into feet, turning, and then usually playing a little through ball through to Mane, and then in the other instance Shaq. But really, you want Firmino in that position, laying the ball through to
Salah.
Yeah, so it really dampened his goal threat. So I am a little bit concerned about that. This is my first time this season, I've thought, okay, this is going wrong now.
But Mane seems to be injured, and he'll probably miss the week with a big gash on his foot somehow. So Salah, maybe without Mane, because you've said possibly they don't like each other. Maybe without Mane, like Shaq and Firmino around him, they can all feed Salah. Salah will be the main man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that and Burnley's chances conceded. That's why I've been considering Salah captain, coming off the rebound.
They're away at home. They're away at Burnley.
I want to know what his owners are going to be like ahead of that game. I wonder if people are going to be getting him out for Sterling and Sane this week, like you.
That's certainly what I'm doing.
I wonder if it's going to drop to what? It'd be interesting if it dropped to about 30, 32. We'll see. Should we just talk about Robertson and the Liverpool defence? That was 7 of 14 games now that Robertson's got bonus points in, which that in itself is crazy. And I think they're now the team with the most clean sheets this season on 8.
How did he get bonus? He ended on 6.
Maybe he didn't then. Okay, no, he didn't get bonus. Maybe it's just 7 of 14 anyway.
Pre-chain.
Yeah, that's right. My bad. But no, I looked back at his bonus because I remember thinking he was going to get it, and I thought, wow, he's got a lot of bonus.
Yeah.
But yeah, Liverpool's defence looking really good, and I think Trent is a good double option with Robertson.
Yeah, I'd love to have him. It's between him like having both of them or just having Trent.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's silly because apparently Robertson's got a dead leg. I don't know how long dead legs seem to take to get over. I don't think it should be very long.
Forever, once it's dead.
I mean, it seems silly, like that they could possibly rest it, but if I had dead legs in football and I used to play, and they're fine after a day. No,
yeah, that's because you're a professional athlete, and these guys are just amateurs, aren't they?
Really, but they have all the athletes or not athletes, doctors or physios or whatever looking after them. A dead leg is nothing.
Yeah, no, I think he'll play as well, man. They'll just rub it, won't they?
So they know that when they played Moreno, they conceded. And
he's poop.
Well, yeah, exactly. But it is Burnley.
Yeah. So it is a good chance to rest him if he needs to be rested.
Yeah, which is bad news for the rest of the Liverpool assets. Because Moreno will come in and...
own goal.
But it is Burnley.
It is Burnley. Okay, well, we'll see on that one. Before we move on, do you want to just talk about your love for Yerry?
Do you want to mention Pickford in that goal first?
Huh?
Do you want to mention Pickford in that goal?
Yeah, we'll talk about that bit in a minute. Okay. I think we'll talk about Mina first.
Right,
because we made a bet earlier in the day saying if he scored, you were going to get him in, and he beat Van Dijk to that header in the first half, didn't he? He scored.
He was very close. Yeah, I still like him. I'm still thinking about him on this wild card. I think he's such a maverick pick, but I think he's a great pick. I just like him. I rate him, and I think, like I've said before, I think Everton are looking for those headers, looking for crosses, and Siggy and Digne just putting them in for Keane and Mina, and Mina's going to get on them, and he proven that he was. He just hasn't put them away yet, and it's coming. The goal is coming. I guarantee it.
They've got the good fixtures, haven't they? Now they got Newcastle, Watford back to back, but then after that they got City away and Tottenham at home. I think talking of Sigurdsson, I think he's one of the players that's benefited from all these Martial sales, because I think he's due a price rise tonight.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people have eyed him up ahead of those 2 games and thought capitalise on that. So yeah, he's under 10% owned, I think, still. So he could be a massive, a bigger differential going into these 2.
Yeah, I'd love to own him as well as Richie, or not Richie at all, and just Siggy.
Yeah.
It's hard to not have Richarlison when he's well owned.
Yeah.
But maybe I should just be like, get over that brace every 3 weeks and just go for Siggy, who's consistent.
Yeah.
But
do you want to talk? Oh, sorry. Do you want to talk about Pickford then?
Yeah, he's put in the media before that he'll never make a blunder like Alisson did. And look what he went and did. Yeah, I actually turned the game off at 90 plus 5 minutes. I was like, all right, this is over.
Yeah.
Popped on to the NFL. And then that wouldn't happen. But yeah, I saw the replays and everything, and just, what is he doing? Keeping that in? Was it going to hit the bar? Was it going to go over? I'm not too sure, but yeah, silly boy.
Yeah, it was a shame because they could have kept another clean sheet. And they've been racking up a few recently.
He was on for max bonus for the game.
He was, wasn't he? Yeah.
Mina they've only bonus as well, I think.
They've only conceded 2 goals in 4 games since Mina started playing.
Yeah.
And that was including that one. So yeah, I think they're looking really solid.
They are. It's just a stupid mistake. It would have been clean sheet 0-0. You'd be looking at. I'd definitely be looking at bringing in Digne and Mina 100% on the wild card rather than do I do it or not sort of thing. Yeah, let's carry on.
So many. I was going to say there's so many variables with especially that defensive slot, because I keep looking at it like, do I want to get rid of Doherty? Yes. Digne's got some good fixtures. Do I want to get him? Oh yeah, they'll be good. But then Robertson's not much more money, and they're a better defence. So I may as well get Robertson. Trent. Yeah. And then I think, but if I'm going to spend that much on Trent, I've got another $1 million in the bank. Maybe I should just get Trippier for the fixture, so I'm not doubling. So the whirlwind of ideas that go around for that defensive spot.
Tell me.
It's trouble. Right, the preview. Should we do it?
Yes. Yeah.
Cool, right, let's have a look at this wildcard team. So this was as of last night or today. I don't know where it is.
Yep.
So Salah went for Eriksen. Aguero had gone for Aubameyang. That's already locked in. Aguero's already gone, hasn't he? Because he's made the transfer. So, sorry, you better run through what you've done here, because some transfers you've made, some you've not.
So a few of them, have been bought in straight away. So Felipe, I think, is definitely going to be in there. Sterling and Sane have come straight in.
Yep.
I think maybe they'll be rotated this week, but I really hope not. But I think I have to get them on the wild card because I won't be able to otherwise.
Yep.
Silly to pass them up. Keeping Alonso, getting Wan-Bissaka in, obviously. I want to still keep Ederson, or just some sort of City defence cover. So it's probably,
and he's cheaper than Laporte, isn't he?
He is. And I've had him since game 2, I think. So maybe 3. But yeah, I've got value in him. Looking at Wilson, their fixture at Huddersfield at home seems like a no-brainer for me. And Wilson's been consistent the whole year. And then Eriksen's cover for Spurs, but I'm not sold on him. And it would be
you don't sound sold on him.
5-2 on that, with Schindler and Wan-Bissaka and Doherty rotating for that third space. With a 5 in the middle every week and the 2.
Does it change much since you sent me that earlier?
I have just been trying to get Aubameyang and Kane in. I've been trying to sneak that in as somehow, just so I think there's not a definite standout captain this week. I think Sterling could be a standout captain if he plays. Maybe I just need to get the VC right this time.
Yeah.
I don't know. What if a Kane team? Who would you captain in that? or without Kane. Sorry.
Probably Sterling.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting you kept Doherty over Digne.
I don't have the time. Point two. I think that was 0-0 left in the bank.
What else can I say about it? It's funny seeing it there in your team. I just don't think Eriksen's worth that 9-2. He would be that big. I know you want to get some Spurs coverage, but I think I'd rather get a defender than 9-2. Is that you've got 0-0 in the bank with all those transfers?
Huh? Sorry?
Have you got 0-0 in the bank with all those transfers?
With that, yeah, I think so.
Mm.
I mean, Foyth is going to be playing the next game because Vertonghen is out.
Yep.
Red carded.
Yep.
Obviously, Toby will come in. Sanchez, I think, is still injured. Versus Saints with new manager. I don't know if defender's the right call there. But then fitting Kane in, it messes up the team quite a bit, to be honest. It would be a Robertson downgrade to something like Trent. And, yeah, I don't know if Kane and Abba is good, or I don't know if I should just keep Salah.
I'm just trying to do the maths really quick. If Eriksen went to 4.4, so the Cardiff player, you'd have, 4.8 free, something like that, to do Wilson plus 4.8. So you still wouldn't have enough for Kane then if you did Eriksen to 4 point something and Wilson to...
So on my screen at the moment, I've got Ederson, Robertson, Trent, Doherty, Alonso, Wan-Bissaka, Sane, Richarlison, Felipe Anderson, Gunnarsson, Sterling, Kane, Aubameyang, Kamara, and 1.6 short.
1.6. So it's a lot, yeah.
So
to be honest, I don't mind the wild card because you got double City midfielders. It's just that getting that balance right with Eriksen. I still don't know if it's there.
Yeah, I'm not convinced by Eriksen either. It's eating at me.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just bring in Trippier and hope he gets fit and hope he comes straight back in. Does he come straight back in?
I don't know. Wait for the press conference tomorrow.
Yeah. I need to, because Wilson's rising tonight, Sigurdsson's rising tonight, so I need to think if I definitely want Wilson.
Yeah. And do you want Sigurdsson instead of Richarlison as well?
Well, yeah.
There's a lot of question marks still there.
It's completely there's so many questions in this one. Maybe I think maybe I should have just waited one more week.
And you played it now.
Still to just easy captain.
I think it's really difficult. I try not to get so wrapped up in some of the fixtures. Like I know Felipe Anderson's done well, but I don't know. Maybe him and Richarlison at 7 million. That's where it's the midfield is really expensive. What I'm trying to say, midfield is really expensive.
Yeah, 4-4-2. I'm open to. That would be what it would be if I came. But then I lose Wilson and his sort of consistency and his good fixture. Not owning Wilson against Huddersfield at home, but Huddersfield have been fairly solid, haven't they? And then Kane versus Saints.
God, such a tough one.
I know.
All right, so that's that's
it at the moment. People shout out to me on Twitter. Tell me what you think. Tell me if Kane and Aubameyang is viable. 4-4-3, I'm open to 4-4-2. Show me some things I can do. I don't know if Richarlison's definitely essential, but his next two fixtures are fantastic.
Personally, I think it's probably too much to go Kane and Aubameyang up front.
Really?
That's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot of money.
I'll show you some drafts with them in later. See what
We'll share them on Twitter too.
Yeah, okay.
See what they're all about. All right, so the captaincy, I've not got it shown there, but Sterling to Salah has switched, so I've got Salah captain at the moment, and I've also got Wan-Bissaka playing ahead of Doherty, so I tweaked it around a little bit before we came on air. So there's a few changes, mainly due to the fact Burnley conceding average 18 shots at home this season, whereas Watford are only conceding average 10. Although I know City are much more threatening at the moment, I feel like Burnley's crazy average of is going to tip Liverpool very slightly, and I'm just
not prefer to go with just the form team. So.
I don't know. I just quite like the bounce back on Salah this week. I've been thinking
about the PSG. We thought Everton they could smash Everton at home. They've been so
It's
good.
true.
No,
It's funny. I've had this fixture lined up in my, maybe wrongly. I've had this fixture lined up in my head, thinking this is going to be a great game for Salah. It's a little bit of a differential pick because I think there's Kane is a good option this week, and obviously all the City players are a good option. Everton players have got a good fixture, and I feel like Salah's getting a little bit overlooked. And against those defensive stats and a little bit of a rest in the last game against Everton, I feel like things are pointing towards him.
It'll be interesting to see stats of Salah versus Hazard, because Hazard for Fulham, great fixture.
Yeah,
like,
true.
everyone kept him for that and put possible captains on him, and we know how that got assist and barely anything else. Would you be happy with just an assist from Salah?
No, I want a goal.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the only doubt in my mind about Salah is just the fact he's been playing centre forward. If he was playing wide, I'd feel really, really confident. Even if he blanked against Everton playing wide, I would have felt really confident. Just the fact that he's playing in the middle.
Yeah.
So maybe Mane being out could be a good thing, so they've got a bit more natural width in the pitch.
And then Aguero to Kane, is it?
Aguero to Kane, yeah.
Can you afford that? How do you afford that?
Yeah, I've got quite a lot of money in the bank.
Yeah.
I've got like
crazy that you can afford Kane, Sterling, and Salah.
Tell me about it. It's just the team value, baby. We're about 1 point.
And Alonso and Laporte. Like, what?
Yeah.
How are you managing this?
I know.
Your value isn't much better than mine, or if it is there at all.
I think it's like 1.104.2, something like that. Anyway, I lost a lot. I lost a bit of value taking Hazard out.
Oh yeah.
Regardless, look at my bench though. My bench is just bare bones of prices. 4-4, 4-5. Cool. All right. So we've done a lot of chit chat. I just wanted to shout out very quickly before we move on, or just to wrap the show up, because I think we're getting close to the end now. I always like to look at which teams have got 4 home fixtures in the next 6, because I think that's where you're going to find a lot of points, especially over Christmas, where you're more likely to have players starting for those teams. So 4 of the next 6 at home: Brighton, Fulham, United, and finally Spurs. So it's food for thought there. I think those home games for Spurs. Who did you say that? Sorry.
Oh no, they got 3. Sorry.
Yeah, 4 or 6 at home. So yeah, lots to think about with those teams. Fulham and Spurs are the ones which sort of stand out there. I think if Mitrovic is going to show me something that could be quite interesting, move away from that double Bournemouth, maybe even Schürrle. Okay, should we just pick out a couple of clean sheets? Do you want to do one and I'll do one?
Ooh, okay.
On the spot now. I'm going to go for a left field pick. So
Everton.
Yeah. Okay. Nice one. I'm gonna go for Bournemouth at home to Huddersfield. I think after they sent
to left field.
Do you think that's left field?
No, it's not.
Oh God, maybe I should go for. Okay, I think Arsenal away to United.
I think that's probably more likely than the last ones we picked.
Cool. All right. Have you got anything final you want to add, or should we wrap it up?
No. Well, yeah. Just wish me luck on this one. My season's depending on it, boys.
Yeah, guys. If anyone's got any comments about Kieran's team, yeah, just drop them in the YouTube channel or drop them in the comment section below, or tweet us.
Yep.
All right. So that about wraps it up. Thanks to everyone for joining us. This was fun. It was a lot to talk about tonight. Game week 15 has just come around the corner. We think we're going to do a live show later this week. Maybe another recorded show. We're not sure yet, but we'll keep you updated on our Twitter feed and let you know what's going to happen. If you've got any pressing questions about your team, get them into us tonight or tomorrow, and we'll try and answer them before the deadline. Again, YouTube or Twitter is the best way to reach us. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, click the button just down there. Oh God, where is it? It's down there. Whoa! Oh, it's hard to do backwards. It's down there, and drop us a like. We're on Apple Podcasts as well, Spotify. And where else are we? Apple and Spotify. That's it, aren't we? Yeah, we're all over it. We got those 2. The links are on our Twitter page. So yeah, if you prefer listening in that way in future, then, rather than seeing our lovely faces and lovely graphics, then head over there. Cool. All right. So until later this week, good luck for this game week, and goodbye from me.
Cheers and good luck.
Bye now.